Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are still working on filling in these last couple of holes here, and we are basically done with that. So that is absolutely phenomenal. That is going to finish up extraordinarily quickly here, at least in comparison to how it's gone. It is definitely going to be done this episode. No doubt about that. So we're over here in Galzor right now. We're 88% done building that. And of course, Achenar, we're going to be in for a while. We've got all these minerals and rare crystals here. I do want to get the mining stations built in Galzor, which we will definitely do.
Research complete.
Why are there construction ships from the Zuritan Citizen Alliance heading out over here? I have no idea. Well, that is fine. We can reverse engineer minor artifacts now. That is a good thing. And we can take some additional edict fund. That is also a good thing. So we've got capped astral threads right now. Not really anything that we want to do here. So that seems fine for the moment. However, we can definitely proclaim a religious revelation with our minor artifacts. We can celebrate diversity. That generates us a whole bunch of unity. I'm going to find peaceful applications here. And we're probably going to go with consumer goods upkeep, although I kind of don't want to do that. I'm going to go with happiness because I want to know when we go positive naturally on consumer goods. So that'll be fine. We can reverse engineer an arcane technology. That gains us 21,000 engineering research. And we can also discover an Elgate insight, which we are delighted to do. Cool. So that all looks great. Now, we are upgrading all of these guys, and we're interested in a defense grid supercomputer here, but we can't actually get one. We don't have the tech for it. So we're going to wait on that for a little bit. And yeah, still full on astral threads. That was quite a lag spike. Okay. I'm not sure what was going on with that one. Maybe some sort of a weird peace deal or something. I mean, it didn't pop up here, so I guess not a peace deal, but some sort of calculation, presumably.
Construction
okay,
complete.
So this factory world requires housing, and to that end, I'm going to put in an industrial district. That'll be fine for the moment. Nothing else really required out over here, but we did just finish up our upgrade of our arc furnace in Achenar. Apparently that's difficult to say, but we're going to upgrade our Mohol extractors here, which will be amazing. That will be absolutely wonderful. We have an Astral Rift event pending. We'll destroy the obelisk. That seems good. And where's our third construction ship at right now?
Construction complete.
Okay, that is building an arc furnace here, and then the idea was to head up into Amor Alveo. But I issued this order not because I want the ship to do the order, but because I wanted to remember where this star was. Because this is a crazy good star right here. So that is not exactly what we want this to do. We want this to finish the arc furnace here in Ciatera. And then once it's done with that, we're going to need to build our stations here, and then we want to head up to Amor Alveo. So I'm actually going to order this to just move here. That's interesting. That's not how that usually works. That canceled the arc furnace. How that usually works is it finishes the current construction, and then it does the move order. Interesting. Well, apparently that's not the case with Megastructures, so that's good to know. So it's going to take a little bit to get that built, then it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I guess you can be a statecraft expert. Sure, why not? So the Wave Skimmer 2 is idling in Galzor right now. I want to jump drive that over to Hell's Maw. Beautiful. We destroyed this Astral Rift, and the scientist died. Okay, so that was the ISS Sea Hare down over here in Heka. Sure. We're going to need to recruit a new scientist then, and I guess you will do. And from there, we can probably get some additional anomaly research speed, I guess. Yeah, that seems reasonably fine. Are we colonizing Suitor? We are. Okay. Good to know. So in that case, I do want to come up to, like, Satatoni and excavate this site. So that looks good. Fantastic. So we're in Hell's Maw right now, and we want to build our star base up over here. That'll be wonderful. We'll grab that dark matter as soon as we can. And as far as our trade goes, I kind of...
talk, and they want...
Oh, contraband has been seized. Okay, we got some zero. Sure. As far as our trade goes, I kind of I'm not sure how much we care about the rest of this trade right now. I don't think it's a high priority. There's not a lot of trade. This station is grabbing most of the high value trade, and that's great.
Construction complete.
The rest of the trade can theoretically be grabbed through gateways. Theoretically. This research agreement is not great. We're not going to accept that. So that, of course, means that we need to get our hands on gateways, right? That is going to be a fairly significant thing.
Research complete.
That is colonial bureaucracy finishing up. And we could grab, like, ancient refineries. That is actually a really, really, really good thing to grab. And we're going to do that. So that is wonderful. Advanced railguns finishing up will be phenomenal as well. So that is Hell's Maw grabbed. We're going to get the dark matter here, and then we're going to head over and build a star base in Chitris. Amazing. So that all looks phenomenal. So at this point, these guys are back up to about 60%. This is about where they were when I accidentally canceled it previously. The Zeritan Citizen Alliance has been elected as the new president. Okay, what is the election method? The succession type is rotation. Should we not have been elected? It's on rotation, and we're the only other member. Okay, I don't know how that happened. Presumably we'll get leadership in the next rotation? Sure. This seems kind of strange, but whatever. Okay, so there's not a lot going on at this exact moment, but
Spaceborne life form
we will be
encountered.
proceeding very, very soon. I would love to grab these 3 systems away from these guys. So they're currently belligerent and hostile. This is not going to really change very much, I don't feel like. That's probably going to remain. However,
Research
we did
complete.
just finish up the research on our advanced railguns, and that is a very, very good thing. Flat cannons are not necessary at this time. We could grab living metal, that's an option, exotic gas refineries, city district housing. All of those are quite good. I'm going to go with the city district housing for now. And we are full on food, so let's sell off a little bit of that. We're going to be full on minerals very soon, so let's sell a little bit of that as well. And I do want to upgrade our ships to utilize the advanced railguns. Of course, corvettes don't have railguns at all, but we can upgrade our railguns on our other ships. So there we go, on our destroyers, on our cruisers. Perfect. And on our battleships. Excellent. So that's not going to be very expensive. Oh, on our defense platforms as well, probably. We're actually just using autocannons here, so that seems okay. Let's go ahead and get all of that upgraded. Again, that's not going to be very expensive or take very long, so that is excellent. So we should be done here in Ciatera very, very soon, in theory. And we'll be finishing up in Atronar fairly soon as well. The Muller Nox are displaying psionic potential. Okay, good for them. Unexplainable rotations. Okay, so this is out over here in Atronar, and we're going to build it again. But this is this event. Actually, we should probably just study it.
Situation log updated.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to head over and build a starbase out over here in Nicolor. So are we building both of these? We are. That means that we have the influence that we need. Perfect. That's really, really good. So we can definitely grab, I think, trade value and amenities is good. We'll definitely do that. And I would like to grab this science ship and come over and study in Atronar, as long as we're right over here anyway,
Ships
right?
upgraded.
So that seems wonderful. In fact, I'm going to jump drive them over. No reason not to. Excellent.
Ships upgraded.
So now we're going to research that project. So at this point, we can start working on hyper relays if we don't get gateways anytime soon. Gateways would be delightful. Oh, look. This person returned from the Astral Rift. They're over 600 years old now, and they're slightly traumatized. Okay.
System survey
Wonderful.
complete.
Well, I imagine they got some experience. Evasiveness. That seems perfect. They're very, very evasive now. Excellent. So our arc furnace out over here in Ciaterra is now ready to be upgraded, and we'll get that going. We do want to get our mining stations built in Ciaterra, and then after that, I want to move up to Amor Alveo at that point. So that's going to take a little bit to get these, like, 11 mining stations built in Ciaterra. That's absolutely understood.
Complete.
And there's Chitris completed at this point. So we'll get all of the mining and research stations there built. That looks excellent. And then what we're going to probably want to do is start building our hyper relay network, assuming, again, that we don't have access to gateways, which currently we do not. We do have an L gate in our territory, which is a good thing, for sure. We'll look to open that eventually. But for right now, that is going to be a little awkward. So these guys are currently idle here. I want to come build in Nicolor. I thought we told them to do that, but I guess we didn't have the influence.
Building a new home.
That must be the answer there. So that is absolutely fine. So we're getting these arc furnaces nice and upgraded. We're going to start building a Dyson swarm up over here. Of course, we already have one. We're going to need to find one more location for a good Dyson swarm. And the question is, what would that look like? Well, we know that we've got like a 7 here. That's not a terrible location for a Dyson swarm, to be honest. So that's probably where we're going to end up building that, unless we happen to find something better than a 7.
Research complete.
I mean, that's a 4 there. That's a 2. That's a 2. I think it's pretty unlikely that we find anything better than a 7. A 7 is pretty good. No doubt about that. So we could grab nanite transmuters. That's not terrible. Or civilian replicomplexes, which is what I'm going to do. I thought we grabbed that already, to be honest. Apparently not.
Complete.
Well, I would like to check in on some of these colonies.
Complete.
So Ulm Prime, we can definitely get a planetary administration going on. Anything else here? Surprisingly, no. I actually expected that we would have a little bit more available here, but no. Okay. So we're done in Nicolor, and we're going to build our mining stations here. That seems perfect. And then from there, we're going to want to head down to, like, Rakaron. So jump driving down to, like, Wumjium, I think. Unless moving to Achenar would allow us to jump drive to Heka.
Handshake protocols activated.
Which it probably would. I'm going to decline that commercial pact. We're making so many energy credits. It really doesn't matter. In fact, we could probably make the argument that we could build additional ships. The main problem there would be the alloy consumption. So that's noted. We may want to make one of these worlds be a fortress world. I don't know. I really want to get more alloy generation going there. But we also need to keep in mind I'm not planning on expansion too much. So that's not going to be that big of a deal. We can definitely get a research complex going on Radar Station Alpha. That'll be fine. He's been secretly sending members of our population back through the volcanic plane astral rift in an effort to restore the balance. We can't let him keep doing that, apparently. That's not an option. We have to dispose of him. Okay. Well, so much for that guy.
Construction complete.
It's probably for the best anyway. So we're done in Chitris. I want to jump drive at this point over to Voldop. Beautiful. So that'll be fine, and we're still in Ciaterra at this point with our 3rd construction ship. So that seems fine. Now, you'll notice our influence generation has gone down. This is because our naval capacity coverage is not as good anymore. Radiant Storm has popped up over here and redirected us around this way. I don't really want to do that. We'll probably end up actually... See, here, when I issued the move order, it kept the build going. But we'll build our mining stations here, and then I'm going to issue an order to jump drive to Troidum, if we can. Oh, that's just outside? Okay, jump drive to Kazoo, and then from there, move up to Amor Alveo, like that. Bypassing the majority of that storm. So that looks good. So at this point, we are in Voldop. And what do we want to do here? Well, we want to build ourselves a hyper relay here, is the answer. Major and minor orbitals are definitely things that exist, but I want to put a hyper relay right here. That's interesting. I just realized that hyper relays are 25 influence, but flash forging them is 50. So we probably don't want to flash forge them, to be honest.
Research complete.
Okay, so we're heading over to Achenar at this point, and that should allow us to jump drive to Heka. Ooh, is that in... That might be in range. It is. Beautiful. So then we're going to come down to Rakaron, and once we're in Rakaron, I would be interested in building a hyper relay here. Excellent. So we're starting to get these hyper relays built up. The idea behind them is we're just going to have a connection from each of our bastions, which is our border regions, back to Radar Central. That's the idea. So we do need to put in a physics research here. We could do encryption. That's very cheap. And in fact, we're probably going to do that. So let's get some encryption going here. As far as our society research goes, we could do pulse armor. I don't think pulse armor is very good, although the Archeo engineers would double the amount of shield hit points. So that'll be a grand total of 1,920 for a large. That's pretty good. That's pretty good indeed. Okay, this is not good if you don't have the Archeo engineering. But if you do, it's quite good. So we'll go with that. That'll be a very, very good thing for us. Now we're full on minerals. I want to sell off a few minerals here. And we're also currently full on astral threads. I want to grab that physics insight and the astral boost. So that will be good. Excellent. So we're still building in Ciatera. That will be done eventually. But we are finished claiming systems at this point with
Research
the possible
complete.
exception of this one. That system is unclaimed, and we'll see what our influence is like. Defense grid supercomputer. Done. We're going to take that. Show us your wares. What do you got? A new mystic shrine? We can already build a new mystic shrine, and we decided not to. Pass. We do not want that right now. Okay, so we've got this generator world here. Is this a real generator world? It kind of isn't. This would be a decent industrial world. For now, we should definitely put in an astrometeorology observatory, as well as putting in our standard storm attraction center and storm summoning theater. I'm not going to put in a storm relief center right now, because I do not believe that that is currently necessary. Because I suspect that's going to end up being a tier 2 world in terms of resource production. So we'll see what that feels like. Excellent. So we're going to be done in Ciatera in the eventual times. Once we arrive in Amor Alveo, I want to build a Dyson Swarm Array. Oh, we cannot build that in binary or trinary systems. Okay.
Spaceborne life form encountered.
So that's good to know. We're full on energy credits. I'm going to stock up on alloys with those energy credits, so that'll be fine. We'll just spend those on alloys for now. Nice store of value there. Okay, so we finished up over here. We're now seeing alloys and minerals in Achenar that we've apparently missed. Okay, something has developed here? Sure. Oh, it's a trapped asteroid. Right, that makes sense. So we're going to finish up the research here eventually. Commercial pact? No, we will decline that. Thank you very much. And we just need to build our transit network at this point. But this industrial world here, we've got a planetary administration. We can't build a ministry of production just yet, but we can put in an industrial district here. That seems good. And our economy is going to develop extremely strong. If we take a look at the XT489 assemblers, they are still inferior to us economically. Civilian replicomplexes are finished now. Ripper autocannons. Yes, please. We are developing our fleets significantly right now. I'm not sure why the Zaritan Citizen Alliance is sitting here in Giedi, but okay. Apparently that's a thing they want to do. I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's not causing us any issues. So, whatever.
Special
What can we
project
learn
complete.
from this?
Research complete.
Okay, so we get some society research here instead of the mineral and the alloys. I wonder if
Handshake
that'll
protocols
change.
activated.
That's interesting. It should be in addition to, I would think. That's very interesting. So for now, what I want to do is I want to go up to Siagawa, and I want to start researching this archaeological site. This is where the rubricator is. So we're going to grab that. Crystal-infused plating is now good to go. Empire size from districts, minus 10% would be good for us. We have currently 78 empire size from districts, so we could reduce our empire size by, what, like, almost 1% overall? It wouldn't be huge. But it would be a useful thing going forward. We're going to get a lot more districts. Oh, we don't actually have anything to research. We're full up. This is fine. Okay. Cool. So we do have this arc furnace down over here that I would love to upgrade. Let's get that going. There's been a gang ambush on Euchromia 3. That's not great. We do have the precinct houses here. Crime is currently at 17%. That's not too bad. We'll keep working on getting that under control. This guy's a commander of the Tsunami Fleet. Okay, let's give him aggressiveness. Cool. So that looks fine for now, and of course our hyper relays are slowly finishing up. In fact, we just finished up in Voldop, apparently. Yes, this hyper relay is now done. So we're gonna head up to Safaban, and I want to just kind of queue up going all the way through here, although we're lacking the influence to queue any more of these, so this is fine for now.
Council agenda ready.
That'll keep that busy for a while. So our council agenda is good to go. We can launch this and boost up our unity gains by a lot, which is always a very good thing to have. So what would we be interested in grabbing for our next one? Honestly, these are all kind of mediocre. We could just go with Pop Happiness. I guess it's fine. Sure, why not? We should be finishing up in Rakaron very soon, right? We're at 85. Okay, yeah, we're just going to build our hyper relay all the way over to Demi Vito for now, but then we're going to want to have one of these going up this direction. We don't have a bastion in Markaz right now. What are these guys thinking? They're friendly and cooperative. They are a prospectorum under the Hyran Pious Nation, or they have a prospectorum, actually. They're the overlord of the Yildaran state. They have a defensive pact with the Corinth Temple of Renewal. So we're trying to maintain good relations with the Corinth Temple of Renewal, for sure. But they're friendly, so they're friendly with us as well, so we don't really expect anything, but I'm going to start up a bastion up over here as well. We should definitely be prepared for an attack over on that side. We avoided it previously because we had good relations, but I think that we should absolutely be prepared. I mean, arguably, we don't need to be prepared over here since we're in a federation. That's an interesting point, but I think I'm going to keep this around just in case. So the ISS Bluefin is idling in Rakaron, and I'd like to move up to Jomel next, which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get that going. That looks fantastic. Now, this mining world requires a job, and that, of course, means putting in a mining district. We've also got a tile blocker here that I would not mind clearing off. Let's get rid of that as long as we're thinking about it. We've got a lot of energy credits, so it really, really doesn't matter. So here we generate food from farmers. Okay. We're currently maxed on agriculture districts, but we can always build more hydroponics farms. We can also put in bioreactors, which would be intriguing. But we don't need energy credits or food, to be honest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a hydroponics farm. This is going to produce a crazy amount of food, but that means that we don't need to set up any additional agro worlds. So we'll be in a good situation there. I like it. So, we need to redirect what we've got going on up over here, right? Because we know that we cannot build in Amor Alveo. So I think in that case, Abdrade is probably the place we're going to build this Dyson Swarm. Probably. I'm just trying to get a bit of a look around. What about Kifatar? That's 5? Okay, that's not as good. So I'm looking for places with high natural energy credit generation. That's only 2. And once we see those, then we will check in on their star. So Diadem here only produces 4. Ceridon produces 4. What about Aras? Nope. Okay. What about Radar Central? I mean, that's 7 here. We could build one in Radar Central. An interesting option to be sure. Matar? Nope, that's only 2. Okay, what else do we have? I mean, Freedar, that produces 2. So I think we're going to have to go for those 2-7 options. And that's absolutely fine. So as soon as we're done here in Ciatera, which will be very, very shortly, we're going to get this queued up for Abdrade. So we're going to jump drive up here, and then we're going to redirect this for Abdrade. That will be absolutely fine. Okay, so... Oh, we have one more mining station to build? Sure. I'm actually going to reorder this then. Okay, so we're going to initiate jump up to Kazoo. And then from there, we're going to move to Abdrade. And we're going to build a megastructure of a Dyson Swarm array here. Okay, that looks good. And then the other one will likely go in Radar Central. So that looks absolutely fine. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on getting our relays set up here and building our megastructures. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.